Hey everyone, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. I trust that you can hear me well, and welcome again to Mimi Ninani 15 minutes live with Mimi Ninani. We are so excited to host this talk and learn together. So if you're new to this to this show, to this program, it's 15 minutes talk where we host this conversation talking about things that just guest our guest for this evening. Her name is Christelle, so she'll be joining us soon as we're talking about toxic people. We've been having a series of these conversations for the whole month. Oh, hi Christelle, there you are, there you are. So please, we're so pleased to have you on board, and it's been an awesome month with mixed feelings as well, especially for Tanzanians, me being one of them. And it's been a sad month for us. It started out well, but we lost one of a very precious person, important person to us, our great figure, our role model, our His Excellence, the late President John Pombe Magufuli. And today is where he's been laid to rest. And my condolences to all Tanzanians, as we bid him a farewell, and I trust and believe that we can push forward his legacy by living the things that he instilled in us. One of them being diligent and people of integrity. So yeah, I thought I should say that as we start, and I think it relates so well with what we're talking about this month. We know we're talking about people in our lives, so it really pushes us to take an honest inventory into the people in our lives, and what is their role, what are they doing in our lives, how did we find them, how did we get them, what are we doing to maintain those relationships. That is very important. And so we've been having these interesting, engaging conversations with our dear guest speaker. Her name is Christelle, all the way from Cote d'Ivoire. And she's an amazing lady. She's a woman engineer. I just love to say that over and over. So please, you have to just get used to me. So Christelle, welcome, and I'm going to take over the talk. So please stay in. Let's learn together, about this. And today we're talking about toxic people. So Christelle, welcome and feel at home. And so yeah, bonsoir.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll have to move a bit from that bonsoir now, since I've gotten to know it. How are you? How is your Friday?
I am good. Hope you too. A very busy Friday. I have enough to work this evening, so I've been busy with the planning, but everything okay.
Okay, that's good to hear. So let's get to the talk, because you only have 15 minutes. So we're talking about toxic people. So maybe just, have you ever had toxic people in your life? Maybe just
Not really. I've been quite fortunate. I've had good friends so far, so I cannot say that I had toxic people in my surroundings.
And how do you know that I don't have toxic people? How do you know, how do you sense that maybe this, I'm sure you have had a process, maybe you were almost encountering, or you had to avoid that. So how do you know, how do you detect that this could be toxic from people? Because I think there are people who are just good people, but they can be full of toxins, right? So how do you tell, how do you know?
So I will say two things. It's either you don't feel okay after interacting with those people. So, for example, you may have friends that are always complaining. You may have people who always try to, humiliate you. Or second thing would be people around you may have noticed that you have changed, but not in a good way. So let's say you have new friends and the way they behave and the way they lead you, right, is not appropriate. And maybe your parents say, oh, since you've been interacting with that girl or that boy, your attitude changed, the way you're behaving is not right. So those can be two, right? It's either you don't feel right or people around you tell you that because of those new people you've started engaging with, you change somehow. Those are
Okay.
the two ways I think we can realize that we have toxic people around.
Okay, I like that how you've put, you know, when you say someone is complaining, you know, sometimes we think that toxic people should have like, you know, that danger sign on their foreheads or something, you know,
Yeah.
that, you know, this is dangerous, stay away from this person. But sometimes
And,
it's just attitude, as you've mentioned that, you know, or it's their,
mhm.
you know, whatever, their influence on you. So you have
Exactly.
stayed, yeah, you have said that you were, if they're pushing you to do something that maybe it's not your usual you, and then you know that, you know, you're digressing from who you are, something like that, and that's something to be cautious of. So I like how you have put out that way. And so, you know, how, what do you say when you know, sometimes we are around people who are, let's say, you know, it could be relatives, people that you don't choose. So, you know, it could be parents, it could be people that you're related to, and they're already a part of you. You did not choose them into your life, right? So how do you, you know, it's always advised to, you know, put family first or something like that. And so it can be so hard at times. So how do you know, deal with that? How do you deal with such? And I like how you've already put out, you know, different ways that that simply, I mean, symbolify the toxic, you know. So
Mhm.
how do you deal with that, you know? Because for other people
Okay.
perhaps you can say walk away, but you know, if it's parents, how do you, or if it's relatives, how do you know it? How do you deal with that?
Okay. I would say, first of all, in terms of mindset, what we should keep in mind in those instances is that the people who are toxic to us are themselves suffering somehow, because you cannot be a normal toxic person. You either experience something that made you becoming toxic for those around you. So in case we have toxic people around, let's bear in mind that those people are not, I would say, normal, fully normal, that they are suffering, that they went through things that led them to become the way they are today. And let's also, right, try to keep in mind that they are not always intentional in the way they behave, right? That at least will bring some peace, because we'll realize that they may not be doing it because they are wicked, but
Mm,
because they have problems, you see.
mm,
Second thing will be, try to avoid the things you do that maybe lead those people to speak ill to you or behave not behave the right way.
mm,
As soon as you know that you're not doing the things that will provoke them, try as much as possible to be away, far from those people. If you're living in the same house, try as much as possible to spend time outside to get fresh air. If you can live in a separate house, that would be good. That would be perfect. But try to, you know, from time to time, get out, meet other people, for you not to be always in the presence of those toxic persons, right?
mm.
And then I'm a Christian, so I would just say pray for those people, because there are things we can do, but as soon as it's beyond our capacities, I think what we can do is pray and see who can help, talking to those people and yeah, helping them to be better.
Okay, I like how you've put that. But Christelle, I think also you're based on who you are. I think you're a person who really, you know, knows herself, and then, you know, you're well grounded. And so it's easier for you to deal from the toxic from outside. So sometimes I think most of the people, especially young people, you find a lot of them are not, you know, as strong grounded. They don't have, you know, like very strong values, I would say, and things like that, to really be mindful and do all that you know, comparison, understanding of, you know, the other person. And most of the time, you know, we ourselves, you know, with regards to many people, is that, you know, in as much as we stop the toxins from the other side, we can be also the source of toxic, like toxins to other people. So how do you,
Mhm.
what would be your advice to such a person who does not know whether even themselves they're toxic or not, based on that they're not very well grounded, but also how do they, how are they able to kind of, um, deal with that, like identify, this is like that, based from that background. Mm.
So for those who may ignore that they are toxic, I will say just pay attention to what people say. We usually hear that we shouldn't be living based on what people say about us, but sometimes others are able to tell us the truth.
Mm.
And if you're not capable to be humble enough to at least
Mm.
give credit to other people, or think that they might be right, I think you might be misled, right? So
Mm.
let's pay attention to what other people say. If you have a lot of people saying, complaining or trying to give you advice always in the same direction, I would say you have
Mm.
to start thinking about it, right? Maybe they are not wrong. Maybe I am the one who sees the bad side of people, but I may be the one who's not behaving properly. I think you had a second question, right? What's the second question?
So I think that answers well, because when you get to, like, now how do you deal with that means that, when you listen to people, and I think that's very important. Most times we do not listen to people. And of course it depends if you don't have people that you can really trust and listen to. So I think that relates very well. And I think from, what I am getting of you is, you know, you can always detect all that toxic from how it makes you feel, or it makes you change right towards the other direction. So if it doesn't make you better, if it takes the energy away from you, and sometimes people criticize you for good, as you're saying, but listen. So if people are saying no, 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 it's not something you like to hear, but as you say, but maybe it's true. So it's good to listen and reason and compare. And so most of us are really not, ready to, we feel like, as long as I'm rejected or I'm not accepted, then it's toxic, but it's not always the case. That's what I picked from you. And I think that's very good to look at. So let me take it to the last part. So our people, please come in and engage and share your insights around toxic people and how we deal with it, how we get rid of their toxins. We are having a great conversation here with Christelle, all the way from Cote d'Ivoire. So please drop down your comments or your inputs and whatever that you think about as far as this topic is concerned. So last question that I wanted to ask you, Christelle, is I know you have a great followership over the social media. I also, follow your posts, and it's a lot of people, and also how you're encouraging your fellow French-speaking people from Cote d'Ivoire to, to do more of English speaking. And I'm sure you might be getting a lot of maybe mixed reactions. So how do you, it's always, people are many out there, so there could be some toxic comments, toxic inputs and things like that. So if there are such cases, how do you let us know? Are there online toxic people who attack people online and share the toxins, and how do you deal with that if there is?
I think the good thing with social media and online interactions is that you can block people. But on a more serious note, I think, well, there are definitely toxic people on social media, right? And people who might not even know that they are toxic. So whenever someone behaves wrongly, I will say, text the person inbox. What you're doing is not right. I don't like XYZ. Make sure you don't do it again. And then if the person does it again, you just, remove that person from your friends. And that's all.
And how does
So
that,
don't
how does that
go
make
ahead.
you feel? How does that make you feel when it happens? Maybe you don't know the person or something, even if you know them. How does that make you feel at first?
Well, it's just that I have to do it. I just
But
do it and then I'm
does
something
it
else.
affect you? Does it affect your confidence, or maybe give you
Oh,
doubts or something?
not at all. No, 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 no. Especially when it's just one among like hundreds. I take it
Mm,
easy, right? Because
mm,
I always keep in mind that people, I mean, we are the way we are because of our background, right?
mm,
There are people who easily insult on social media,
mm,
and they might not even be able to do it if they have the person in front.
mm.
So that gives a kind of power, behind the screens that we may not get in the real life. So I think people like enjoying the freedom and then the power they have behind their screens, which is good. So I don't, I don't take it personally, right? If I realize that you're not an appropriate fan or friend or a follower, I just make sure that you disappear from my screen, maybe for
Mm.
some time or forever, because I don't want to lose my peace. I don't want to lose my joy. So if you're not contributing to whatever is good in my life, make sure you're not part of the people around me. That's the way I see life. Yeah.
I like that. I like that because I think a lot of people are victims of social media and the toxins that come from that. And sometimes
Yeah.
not conform, like they change completely so that they can, please the people and leaving out their major purpose or their bigger vision just because they've gotten some few reactions, or sometimes they just lose the confidence to do that. So I like how you have said it. Probably they come from a different background, whatever they are from, you don't take it personal. So I hope somebody out there will take it, and put it to heart, and perhaps not be shaken by that. So what is your last word to people, regarding this message as we are coming to a close? What would you want to say?
Okay. Last word will be try to accept people as much as possible. We're not always able to change people. What we can do is accept them, love them, and if we've done our best trying to cope with and it's not working, then at least we've tried. You know, let's be as far away as possible from people who steal our joy, steal our energy, you know, steal our peace of mind. Let's try to be in I won't say a bubble, but kind of bubble, that contains joy, happiness. And whoever tries to make that bubble exploding, let's make sure we get away from those.
I like that. I like that so much, Christelle. That's a very good takeaway message. And yeah, I think I'm just going to take that for myself as well, the bubble, right? So, that good energy, good vibes, good encouragement, and stay away from whoever that wants to just, pop it off and just, spread that negative energy and all. So thank you so much for being with us throughout the whole series of this topic about people in your life. And I believe someone out there has gained something. They're going to reflect on the people in their lives and, kind of build better connections, better networks, so that, they can be more meaningful and help them to progress through life. So thank you so much, Christelle. I think you've shown a role model. I think you've shown a good model, with regards to that, how you've been sharing your friends, your circle families. It seems like you're surrounded with healthy people in terms of, mentally and spiritually and so forth. And that makes you, a wonderful person that you are. So keep on to that. And I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. And thank you so much for taking part with me, Mini Nani. So everyone, thank you for joining in. Let's meet again next week. We'll be launching another theme for the next month of April. So stay tuned. You're going to be so excited to launch the theme, and share with us your inputs, comments, DM us, email us. We'll be happy to hear from you. So thank you so much, Christelle.
Thank you, Felicia. Thanks for the invite. I really enjoyed the sessions and we'll be glad to join any other time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll be happy to invite you back. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Au revoir.
Oh, au revoir, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yay. I'm getting good at it. You have to be my tutor. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.